Standing Simmer here today, and welcome back to the channel for another speed build in The Sims 4. This is another speed build that, like some of the builds that I shared last week, began pre-seasons and has now been finished, obviously, with the release of seasons. Now, obviously, at the point that this speed build is coming out, seasons has been out for over a week now. It's been like, I don't know, like probably at least almost 2 weeks. It's been very close to 2 weeks. And I honestly am so glad that we're finally at this point. I feel like waiting for seasons to release, I felt like it was never going to get here. It was like, oh, just counting down the days and seasons would finally be here. But finally we are at the point where it has been out for a while. And a lot of amazing creators have had the chance to share some really cool things with the pack. Now, I don't consider myself one of those necessarily, but I've had an amazing time putting together stuff with the new pack. And I think I've mentioned this in at least one other speed build video that I've released since seasons, maybe both of them. But I've just been so inspired to build with the release of seasons. Before seasons even came out, like the night or so before, I sat down and I was like, okay, we're gonna like build some stuff. We're gonna get some builds knocked out, because I had a lot of ideas of some builds I wanted to do, but I knew that I wouldn't be able to complete them until seasons actually came out. And so, you know, last week I shared the Gardener's Dome Park, and then also the winter A-frame house that I built before seasons actually released. But then I also wanted to build this house for a very special reason, and you guys won't actually find out all of the incredible details until a little later in the week when I share the current household that I actually built this house for. So this is a house that I have actually played in. That is not the case with a ton of my builds. I mean, sometimes I play in my houses, sometimes I don't. I like to take the time to build something if, like, say one of my current households would happen to need a house or an apartment or something to live in. If I don't, if I have the time and I have the inclination, then I usually will just build something for that family. I don't normally just always download from the gallery, although sometimes I do as well. I'm not exactly sure why I'm just rambling on about this. It's like, it's clear, Mariah, you know, you built this for your current household, you played in it, it's good. But long story short, that does mean that this house is player tested in kind of an indirect way, because I actually did just play in the house for a long time as well. There is one thing that I will mention later when we get to it in the build, if I remember, that you will have to remove in order to make sure that this this can fit 2 Sims instead of just 1 Sim. But yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I'm building this, actually, it's hard for me to like talk about it necessarily, because I'm not going to go into all the detail on the household that I began playing in this household. Yeah, the household that I began playing in this household. Anyways, I'm not going to go into incredible detail because I really want to save that for the current household update, which, like I said, if all goes well, will be going up a little later in the week, possibly on Saturday. Again, if you're watching this in the future, that won't mean anything to you, but a few video uploads after this should be the release of the current household update that I'm talking about. But I don't want to necessarily spend the entire build talking about the current household, because I will be doing that in the current household update. But yeah, so this house is built in Windenburg, as you might be able to tell by the landscape. I really specifically wanted to build on this lot in particular because it is the 20 by 30. It's at like the top sort of left-ish hand corner of the map in Windenburg, and it is one of my favorite lots in Windenburg, partly because it is at the end of like this really pretty little like a circular type driveway type thing. I don't even know really what to call it. It's like a cul-de-sac almost, only there aren't houses lining the road on like leading up to the house necessarily. It's kind of a bit of a dead end, and it's just a beautiful lot, and it has gorgeous scenery sitting around it. It also sits up a little bit higher than all of the other houses surrounding it, so there's just a lot of really pretty depth to the landscape here. Playing this house in winter has been beautiful. That was actually the first season I started off the household that I placed in this house. I started them off in winter, and it was gorgeous. It was so incredibly gorgeous, guys. And so my goal is, even though I have not yet taken the screenshot photos, I am planning to do so in the wintertime so that you can see kind of how those end up looking and all that good stuff, but beautiful in the wintertime. So you may have noticed that the beginning of the video, as I kind of mentioned earlier, I kind of alluded to it, but I did start off the build in, you know, pre-seasons type, you know, so I was building no seasons whatsoever in my game. I just kind of wanted to build the shell and do the landscaping, and I did think I did a little bit of the floor planning as well, and I tried to show a little bit of that as well in the very beginning part of the video, just in the first few minutes. And then, like, from here on out, as of like a minute or so ago, we are officially into the seasons content. So this is actually the very first build that I ever ever touched with Build Buy in my game for the new Seasons pack. I did not build anything else. I mean, there are a couple of other builds, once again, that were released last week on the channel that I built with Seasons content, that I started building before and then finished building after. But this is the first build that I got to, so I'm kind of releasing them in a bit of a wacky order. But this is the very first Build Buy experience that I ever had with Seasons, and so you'll probably notice that there is a little bit more of like me kind of like bumming around in Build and Buy. There is like a little bit of indecision. There's a lot of me looking around, a lot of me taking the time to actually choose color swatches because I was just so enamored by the beautiful items that we got in Build Buy with Seasons, which I've spoken about like how I feel about Seasons Build Buy before, specifically in my winter A-frame house that went up last week. So you should definitely go check that out if you want to know a little bit more about what I think about Build Buy, which, spoiler alert, I love it. So beautiful. I love it so much. I honestly think it's been an amazing addition to the game so far, and I'm super excited to continue building other things with the Seasons pack, and then especially in conjunction with other packs. One of my favorite things to do when a new pack comes out is, first of all, enjoy the Build Buy and the cast and the gameplay of that pack to the fullest, like kind of almost exclusively. But then at the same time, I always really love to see what comes as a result of mixing that pack's items with other packs' items. So I love seeing like how it meshes well with other packs, whether they have the same kind of style or a different style altogether. So that has been really cool so far. This build rather is almost exclusively Seasons content because, once again, it is the first thing that I did when I got Seasons in my game, and I was like, yes, this is going to be a very Seasons heavy build, guys. Now, I don't exactly know what packs I used in this build. That of course will be available on the gallery page. I also have not yet uploaded it to the gallery because I did a stupid I made a dumb little mistake and I uploaded it, but then like I didn't include much of the information about it for some reason. The day that I tried to upload it initially, the gallery was having some pretty bad issues, so it was kind of a weird like upload type thing. I didn't even actually fully intend to upload it to the gallery, so I had to take it back down, and now I need to go into the save where I built it and then re-upload it from there, which I have to do anyway because I need to take the screenshots. So it's not a big deal whatsoever. But as of the release of this video, it should be up on the gallery because I will have had to, once again, take the screenshots. So yeah, if the build's not up on the gallery, then there might not be screenshots at the end. So if there are screenshots, we're good to go, is what I'm saying. So yeah, really enjoyed just kind of taking my time looking through the Build Buy of this pack. I feel kind of weird, once again, talking about Build Buy for Seasons in this build, considering I did so much of that in a build, once again, that went up last week. I really like the Build Buy so much. I'm not going to talk about it very much more though, because, I already did that. But the general theme I was going for this build was I wanted it to be, like, once again, I started off the save in winter. That will make much more sense, like why I chose that specifically when I do the current household update later on in the week. But I wanted this to be a house with really warm colors. So the living room area that we're working on now ends up with this really beautiful mix of like yellows and golds and purples, as well as a lot of the stone that we bring from the outside into the interior of the build. But then like the kitchen area, we're not even there yet, guys. I'm sorry I'm like spoiling all this for you while you're still just watching me build the living room. But like the kitchen area has like those beautiful dark redwood Parenthood countertops, which are just incredible looking, and they fit really well in with the style of this build. And then I also carry this purplish goldish theme up into the bedroom as well, which, as far as that goes, I guess now is a good time to let you guys know that this is a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, no, that's not what I meant to say, 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. And the bedroom, if you make the adjustment that, once again, I'm hoping to point out later on to you, the bedroom will fit 2 Sims. There was one thing that I kind of left in the way. It's like the suitcase with the books stacked on top that came with cats and dogs. I end up placing that next to the dresser upstairs, which, once again, guys, this is not going to make a lick of sense to you right now because you've not even seen this happen. But I'm semi-afraid I will forget to tell you when we actually get to that point that I'll be off and rambling on something else and won't even tell you. But, if I do happen to miss that later on, that's what I'm talking about. If you make that small adjustment, this house will fit 2 Sims, no problem. And then again, like I said, 2 bathrooms. One is a half bath, which is upstairs, which is also, I think it's not quite an ensuite to the one bedroom up there, but it is right off the hallway going into the bedroom up there. And then the lower bathroom here on this first floor is a full bathroom with a shower and all that good stuff. So never fear, got you covered as far as bathrooms go, like I normally like to do with my builds. I've mentioned this before, but even though this house is not really meant to fit more than a few Sims, like at most 2 Sims, I love to just like congest my homes with bathrooms if I have any say about it at all, because if you play with a lot of Sims in a household, even 2 Sims in a household, you know, as luck would have it, they would probably all have to use the bathroom at the same time, or like one of them would have to take a shower, and it's not convenient for one to be showering, one to be going to the bathroom. This is all like very, you know, random Sims troubles kind of a thing, but that always happens in my game, and I really like to make sure that my houses have tons of bathrooms. So guys, I feel a little weird today. I feel like my commentary might just be slightly off today. I'm recording this like reasonably early in the morning on a Saturday. Saturdays and Sundays are normally when I prepare my videos for the upcoming week. And so again, kind of early in the morning for me. I don't feel like I've done a lot of conversing yet today. So me doing voiceovers usually first thing in the day are a little difficult because I haven't really had the chance to speak to anyone yet. Like, I've talked to my husband a little bit off and on, but other than that, I haven't really done a lot of talking. So I don't know, first morning, you know, gosh, see, that's another thing. It's like, I just cannot speak first thing in the morning. Not only is the actual conversation like mildly difficult compared to later in the day, but the words just don't come as easily. Like, my grasp on the English language diminishes when it's like an early morning voiceover. So forgive me if this voiceover is a little strange, but you know, that's just what you gotta do, you know. So working so much, you know, throughout the week and stuff means that I really can't prepare a lot of my videos throughout the week as we go. I wish I was kind of in the position to do that, but for one thing, you know, as well as time being kind of an issue, my internet is also kind of an issue, which I'm not gonna like spend a ton of this voiceover complaining about my internet, but it takes me like several hours, like we're talking 5 to 8 hours possibly, depending on the upload speed, to upload a regular like roughly a video of this length. It'll probably take 5 to 8 hours, and I always have to do that overnight, because if I do it during the day, it just drags on our bandwidth and it takes forever anyway, and then, you know, we can't like watch our videos and all that good stuff. Yeah, once again, very first world problems here, guys. Like, this is not really that weighty in the grand scheme of things, but just for information's sake. So yeah, oh, real quick, I want to tell you, the room that we're working on right now, or like here around this area, that teeny tiny little, like, I don't even know, it's like a 1x2 or a 1x3 room. I just tucked the decoration boxes in that room because it made sense for me to have a very small room there. The floor plan of this house is super weird, so forgive me if it's like almost annoying how strange it is in some places, but it's kind of like all I could do to work with what I had. But that teeny tiny little room there, I think it is just a 1x2, is functional with the decoration box inside it. So I figured that like if you had a little closet type room, especially coming right in the front door, like maybe kind of like a makeshift coat closet, I figured that it would be kind of realistic to have a closet type room there, and that possibly instead of storing your decorations in like the attic or the basement, if you didn't have one of those, or if you didn't have room in one of those, that you would tuck that sort of thing in like the bottom of a closet, like way back in the back of a closet. And so that was kind of what I was going for. I also tucked like a little stack of presents there. I thought that maybe, you know, if your sim was living in this house, you might be like, you know, storing presents away throughout the year, and that you'd need somewhere to hide them. That way, in case your family's over or your friends are over, you know, you have like them kind of tucked away all secret like, you know, so that way they're not in plain sight. I think the struggle with that sort of thing, like in real life, is always finding presents again afterwards. I have been known to buy something early in the year, like maybe if it's on sale or something like that. So I see something that's perfect for a family member or a friend, and I buy it and I tuck it away somewhere, and then it is just gone come Christmas time. Like, I can't find it. Like, I have no memory of where I actually ended up putting it. So then I have to end up buying them something else anyway. Or if I'm lucky, you know, you find the thing and you're able to wrap it and get it to them. But yeah. as long as you can find those presents again. I guess that's what's important. So, as in addition to this house being suitable for up to 2 Sims, I also made it pet friendly, probably more for a dog than a cat because I didn't put a litter box in here, but there is a nice little pet bed kind of tucked there underneath the stairwell. And there is a pet feeder over kind of in the corner that I end up putting there eventually next to the dining room table. So a really cute little house. Like, if I do say so myself, I really love the way that this turned out. I love all the warm tones. Once again, I was imagining this to be a build suited for like kind of the earlier part of the year or winter time for sure. It doesn't really matter what month necessarily, but I was picturing winter. So I probably need to branch out a little bit more and build something suitable for another season, because of the 3 builds that I've put out since season came out, 2 of them now are going to be very winter focused, very winter heavy. The last one is the video that I've referenced a couple of times up to this point, the winter A-frame that went up last week. That was more of a vacation home. This is definitely meant to be a residential home, but there's that stack of books, by the way, on the suitcase. If you delete that or move it somewhere else, 2 Sims will be able to fit in this bed. So that was the one issue I had when my Sim had a special someone over, but once again, not going to really get into that right now in this video. Going to do that in the current household update. So definitely tune in later in the week if you want to like know why I needed to build this house specifically for the winter time or something along those lines. Super excited to share that all with you guys because it's a household I've been playing now since like the day that seasons came out, and I haven't played it like a ton because, oh gosh, I'm not even going to get into that because if I do, I'm going to spoil way too much. Long story short, you know, I've really been enjoying playing both the household that I intended for this house and the Goth family that is my other current household. I shared a couple of videos on them last week. Once again, you can go check those out if you would like. But yeah, I've just really just enjoyed playing the game so much more now, even since Seasons was released. I feel like I fell into a bit of a rut, like a lot of people did kind of before Seasons got here, that I just didn't even really want to play that much because I knew that we were about to get all these amazing things for the game. And I just didn't really feel like playing as much anymore. Like I still played like nearly every day. Like you could probably not even technically notice a difference in my playing time, but I just didn't, I felt like my heart wasn't even really in it all the way, you know? So I don't know if any of you guys felt like that leading up to Seasons, but like only right before Seasons was about to release did I get that wave of inspiration that I was talking about earlier and like really just dedicate myself to building and all that kind of stuff. I'm super excited now that Seasons is officially here and that we don't have to wait anymore and that we can enjoy like this incredible pack that has been given to us from The Sims. So yeah, I think I've already asked this already, but in case you didn't see my other video where I did ask this, let me know what your favorite part of Seasons is so far, if you can choose a favorite part. I'm loving so many aspects of the game and I'm just so enamored with it, guys. I just can't. But we are already on to the end of the build here, jumping into the screenshots, which once again I have not taken just yet, but I hope that they look nice when you guys see them. I'm planning to do that in winter, so I hope that they look pretty good. I've already seen this house in wintertime in my personal gameplay, so I think it looks pretty nice. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This home is available on the gallery, as are all of my builds. I mentioned a little bit about that earlier, but by the time this goes up, it will be on the gallery. So my ID is standingsimmer, and I also put those under the hashtag standingsimmer as well, so you can find it that way. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you're having the best of days, and I will see you very soon. Bye! I'm so happy.